Welcome everybody to the nominations of Donkey Kong 64 in preparation of the award show. Now there's going to be 4 awards and there's going to be multiple nominees to win this award. So let's get this started. The first nomination is going to be Best Level, or you could say Best World or Best Course, whatever you like, whatever your preference would be. You just pick your favorite one. Is it A, Jungle Japes, the very first level in the game where you would expect that it would start in the jungle, where I would say it's really a good level to point out why this game is really good in my opinion. It shows a lot. You know, when I was saying all the time in the Let's Play that when I showed this to a relative, they were like, whoa, at the end because of how much content there really is in this game. Yeah, I prove it with this level. Is it B, Angry Aztec? Is the desert level. There's so much amazing mini games when it comes to this course right here, especially with the beetle where you slide around, and of course there's also the what was it? There's like another thing. There's that vulture or condor, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things to this level that really I remember a lot. And when it comes to desert levels, I'm not really a fan of, but don't make my opinion and what I say about it really affect your decision. It's really whatever you decide on. So keep that in mind. Is it C, Frantic Factory? My favorite level in the game. Like I said, don't make your decision based on what I say. Frantic Factory is definitely my favorite level for reasons that, like, in one center room, it goes high up and you have to work your way on these obstacles. There's all these sorts of rooms. There's Donkey Kong Arcade. There's that like chamber room where like I think it was called the R1 room or something like that. Is those chamber rooms that you have to use a musical notepad? And I remember there was a point where Chunky fights like this toy version Megatron thing, which was really cool. And you released like Chunky Kong there too, by the way. Is it D, Gloomy Galleon? It is a water level that, you know, for you know, my least favorite level is Angry Aztec. Well, is it Angry Aztec? I don't know. Either way, you might have your certain reason why you would like this level. There is the mermaid there, and there is all sorts of stuff. This is the first time you could play Jetpack in there if you like. And yeah, there really isn't much to say, but whatever your personal opinion is of why you like Gloomy Galleon, who knows? It might win. Is it E? I think we're in E. Is it E, Fungi Forest? This level originally was in Banjo-Kazooie, and or it was planned to be, up until it couldn't really fit in the game, so they put it on this one instead. You can see all the seasons, somewhat, well, not really the seasons. You can see how the time mechanic works in the game, where it could go day and night, and there's like a barn, and there's all these sorts of stuff, and I really like it because of the boss battle. But really, I wouldn't put that reason to be of why you should like the level is because of the boss battle, because that's kind of separate. So also keep that in mind. Is it F, Crystal Caves? Where in the beginning of the level, or I guess the majority of the level, there's this giant spike, the character Kremling, Spike Kremling, where he smashes the ground and they cause these stalactites to drop down throughout the level. Now it is a beautiful level, and after you take them out, it'll be a whole lot easier. And all these ways that you could go, well, there's only left and right, but like a lot of layers to it, you know. There's that crystal igloo, and there's these there's like the house that you could go to, the hut really. And who knows, this might be your favorite level as well. Is it G, Creepy Castle? So in this level in particular, I know that for one, it is a favorite of someone's that I saw in a video before. And you might be the type of person that like, you know, hard type of stuff, you know, that might be your style. So this is a reason why this could be your favorite. Now there's all sorts of stuff like the ballrooms are really like, there's a lot of art style-y stuff in there, like the ballroom like I mentioned, the museum, and all these type of rooms that are in this one castle. There's these path that takes you to the other side of the level where you go inside the castle as well. And I know for one, when I was doing the Let's Play, I struggled a lot on the Linky's portion, so who knows, this might be your favorite level. And I'm going to take the last level out, so that's going to be it. You're only going to have 7 decisions on these 7 worlds right here. Now the second award is going to be a bit different because I am going to, well, you'll see in a second, Best Kong Ally. So what I mean by that, any Kong that really helped out the main Kongs, which is A, Cranky Kong, who gives you potions and upgrades and all this stuff. And they made you learn the ground pound. He gave you the method to fly, like in the jetpack. Gave Donkey Kong invincibility. Linky the power to float. Tiny Kong the power to fly with their ponytails. Chunky's growing tall, and Tiny Kong growing small, and all these type of stuff. Or is it B, Funky Kong, where he gives you all this gunpowder? Donkey Kong got the coconut shotgun, Diddy Kong with the peanut pistol, Tiny Kong with the feather bow, Lanky with the great shooter, I think that's just what it's called, Chunky Kong with the pineapple bazooka. There's all these types of stuff. Is it C, Candy Kong? Where Candy Kong gives you instruments that are so broken, if you play it once, every enemy around you in that radius is gonna die, no matter what, unless it's like a boss of some type. That's pretty much it. She also gives you health, really. Is it D, Snide? Now, not every entry in this thing is like a Kong member. So Snide the Weasel, he used to be working for King K. Rool, and he helps you out by deactivating the Blastomatic machine, which is like an Armageddon blaster that will destroy your island. So by giving you a blueprint, it'll actually give you more time to beat in the final version or the final levels of the game. And he also gives you some mini games towards the end there, so you know that's bad. Is it E, Wrinkly Kong? So whenever you go in the lobby, she'll give you some hints of where the golden bananas should be. So in total of every level, she gives you 5 hints. So really, if you think about it, she helps you out by getting more complete in the game with like, what was it, like about 35 golden bananas, which is nearly a fifth of the game. Not really, you know what I mean. There's like 200 bananas and there's like 50, yeah, something like that. And that's all for all the Kong allies. I mean, I was gonna add in some other ones like the Banana Fairy or like, you know, the rabbit, but they don't really help out. The Banana Fairy just gives you 1 golden banana. That's kind of 101% of the game. It's not exactly for the game, and you're really saving them. They're not really helping you out. I guess they give you more power, more duration on the crispness. It's not much. And for the rabbit, like I said, he doesn't do much. He just holds like 1 golden banana after you beat him in a race. Either way, the next one is Best Kong Member. Now, whatever your favorite Kong is really a decision. Is it A, Donkey Kong? His powers are, if you go in the Donkey Kong barrel, he has invincibility like I mentioned. His instrument is the bongo drums. His gun is the coconut shotgun shooter. And on the DK pad, he goes and plays like the Donkey Kong shootout. I forgot what that one's called. I think it's called Bonsai some kind. Baboon Blast, that's what it's called. Is it B, Diddy Kong? He has the peanut shooters, he has the jetpack, he has the springy jump. He also has, what else? He has the guitar gizmo for an instrument. And what else? I think that's it. So also with the jetpack, he can also shoot with the peanut, so there's that. Is it C, Tiny Kong? Where not only that I placed her third on here, but her color is definitely pink. Anyway, she has the power to twirl around with her ponytails. She has the feather bow. Her instrument is the saxophone. Her powers is like a mini teleportation. I mean, it's not exactly. I mean, all Kongs could teleport, except she has like more of it, and especially that she has more access. You know how I mentioned the banana fairies. She's mostly, the majority of the time, taking the pictures of it, and she's the only one that can access to see the main banana fairy queen, really. And what else? She could also shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She could float through the air and climb up trees. Anyway, if you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong. Huh. Is it D, Lanky Kong? He has the grape shooter. You can float up by inflating herself or himself. I think as a dude. I'm not really sure. I never was sure when I was a kid. And you could go really fast with the handstand. With the trombone is the instrument. And what else? I think that's it. It could extend his arms really, really far, especially in the final boss battle. You could really stretch really, really freaking far. And yeah, I think that's it. Is it E, Chunky Kong? Now with Chunky Kong, he has a super punch. He has like the only way of destroying like those cages. So there's that. He has super strength, and he has like invincibility powers that also make things that I'm never sure how to explain it. He turns invisible. By turning invincible, he turns other things visible. I'm never really sure how to explain it. I'm pretty sure someone could explain it a lot easier than I can. He also could go in ginormous size. And his instrument is the triangle. Now, I think that's all his powers. And I'm gonna throw in one more just for Yucks and Ducks. Is it F, Dixie Kong? In the past, in Donkey Kong Country, she is the girlfriend of Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong was not in the game, but she is related to Tiny Kong. They are sisters, sister power, and that's why I'm adding her in the award show as the nominations. So if you want to vote for Dixie Kong for Yucks and Ducks, sure, why not? But if she wins, then I don't know what to do about it because she's not a legitimate kind of. Either way, the last award goes to Best Boss. Or you could say Best Boss Battle. It has more alliteration and sounds better. Either way, there is A, Armadillo. He is the first boss and also, spoiler alert, the sixth boss of the game because you face him in rematches. He's a armadillo that has metal casing, metal armor around him where his shell should be, and he rolls around, he destroys everything in his path. He has cannons that could destroy a big amount of land, a masses of land that around him, really. He also has a gigantic rocket-powered heat-seeking missile that's so big that it could destroy the entire hut. And I'm just trying to, put back to back, really. But the only thing about Armadillo is his weakness is if you hit him with the dynamite or anything that hits him heavy enough, not only that it hurts him, it actually, his own suit kind of betrays him in a way that gives him extra more damage, which is, like that. So he also has a jetpack of his own that helps him not only to fly, but to make him slam hard on the ground. that'll cause a shockwave and an earthquake at the same time. So he's a pretty strong opponent if you really think about it when you break it down. Is it B, Dogadin? Now this thing is a dragonfly, like quite literally a dragonfly, a dragon and a fly. He gets mad at you for killing his son or maybe daughter, I don't really know, but I think it's a mom or a dad. I'm not really sure. It sounds masculine, but it almost seems motherly in a way. But who knows? It might be a dad. Either way, his powers, he could breathe fire. He could do fireballs or do fire blasts, and he could even create a firewall that is indestructible. You can't... I never found a way to reverse it, but it's irreversible. You only get hit by this thing, unless there's something I don't know about it. But either way, Dogadin is a close combat fighter as well. Like he could without a problem. I mean, then again, the way you defeat him is also dynamite because he has his weakness is that he likes to nag. So with nagging, it causes him a distraction where it leaves him vulnerable. So once he's vulnerable, then he gets issued with close combat. So I guess I can't really say that he does close combat himself. But that's his weakness. It's nagging, his vulnerability, because it leaves him open. Is it C, Mad Jack? Now this boss gave me nightmares. Oh my gosh, I was so afraid of this thing when I was a kid. Not really the same way as, like, you know, the Big Bertha was in Yoshi's Story. I mean, it didn't really give me nightmares per se. It just got me stuck in Donkey Kong so long that, like, I had to master how to use Tiny Kong by flying around and doing it perfectly. Like, I mastered that to a crazy extent. But Mad Jack's powers is pretty much, he's the Jack-in-a-Box that hops around and stuff. And he could shoot lasers out of his eye. He could manipulate the field around him to electrify and hurt you, whatever that you're standing on. And he could also turn invisible and do all these combinations of these things. So he's a pretty strong thing. But the only thing is, his weakness is that whatever platform, the platforms that he set up for himself, he made it so it's a 50-50 chance of you hitting his side. See, the thing is, when I didn't know as a kid is, I didn't know that I had to hit the same color as the one that he's sitting under. I thought it was just a 50-50 shot. So he gave us a fair shot by not only if we get the wrong one it'll hit ourselves, but if you hit the other one it'll hit him. So that's his weakness, is given that opening. And that's really the only way. You don't legitimately hit him or anything. So his own platforms and his own field of battleground he's fighting in is his weakness. Is it D, Puff Toss? Now Puff Toss is an interesting character to describe. He can shoot fireballs into the sky and it'll seem like a meteor storm, really, falling down into the water. So you're on this boat trying to avoid all this stuff. He could also send out little baby bombs that looks like Puff Toss, only purple, you know, the smaller normal enemy kind, that chase you down, kind of like a heat-seeking missile. So you have to avoid as much as possible. And there's also, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. He shoots fireballs all over the place. And he also does a shockwave. So his weakness is the field that he's around. For some reason, I'm not really sure who's aiding you on this, but if you go through a DK start, it sets up a rod. Once you set up 5 rods, it'll get an electrical current shocking him. So you do that like about 5 times and then he dies pretty much. So the battleground that he sits in is his weakness. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The more times you go on the DK start, the less time you have, really. And the final one, is it E, King Cutout? I didn't remember the name at the time in the Let's Play, but that's his name. is the cardboard cutout of King K. Rool. See, and I was explaining in the Let's Play, the reason I like this boss so much, and I don't really mind it, because people would be like, really, it's a cardboard, like, that's what they decide. No, if you really think about it story-wise, they got Armadillo, and they got Dogadin, and they got Mad Jack, and they got Puff Toss, and they managed to get Armadillo and Dogadin again. That, you know, after they used Armadillo for the second time, that they started running out of ideas, the Kremlings, to fight against them. And they don't want to put the boss in the front lines to fight against the Kongs. So, it really makes sense that the Kremlings are so desperate for the Kongs not to get the key, is that they made a cardboard cutout of King K. Rool. And then they try to set up like these traps and other stuff to go fight the Kong, because it's literally 5-on-1, so that's how desperate the Kremlin's gotten. So, the powers that King Cutout has, he has the laser powers of Mad Jack. He there's like multiple ones, and the Kremlins are actually really quick on this. Like, they could have the cardboard cutout, King Cutout set up on one side, and it goes down, and it sets up on another side, and it does this continuously on all 4 sides. And also it's a fake one, so if you launch yourself and try to hit that, then you're screwed, really. So really, the only powers it has is the laser powers. I was gonna come up with something like, oh yes, the powers of Mad Jack, and the powers of Dogadin, and Armadillo, and Puff Toss. Nah, it's just the lasers. It's just the lasers. And there's also an enemy on the field. But, there's also an enemy in the water, by the way. But that's all the bosses. I'm gonna leave out the final boss for obvious reasons, and that is gonna be it for the award show. So, the nominations of the award show, I should say. So, thank you guys for watching. I might do this differently. I don't know if I'm gonna do this as a VUR, because they're kind of, I'm thinking about it doing separately. I think that the award shows are better off by themselves, so I'll probably end up doing that instead. But either way, White Tigers and Dragons, see you, and you've been scarred for the night. I'm out.